So this is my beloved X100VI. I've loved this camera. I've loved shooting with this camera. I am a professional videographer, and this camera, I don't even know how to put into video mode because all I do is just snap JPEGs of it, of my family, of travels, of different things. And it's a fun little camera to just have in the palm of your hand pretty much all the time. So let's talk about the nonsense behind this camera. You see, I had heard of the X100 line, wasn't really super interested in it until the launch for this camera came out. And I know some friends with the X100V, which is just like a crazy good camera, and they've kind of always been hyping me up on it. And so when this one launched, I was like, you know what? Let's dive into it. Let's see what it is. So about 2 days after the initial launch, when pre-orders are still going, I pre-ordered my X100VI in silver from B&H.com. Now, everybody knows the debacle behind this camera. There was far too many pre-orders and they didn't make any, and it was just been a disaster ever since of getting pre-orders. So about a week ago, I get this email from B&H. I've gotten a couple different update emails, but now we're into late July and I'm still getting update emails on this pre-order that I've held since February. Now this says, thank you again for your X100VI order. We know the excessive wait for this camera has been very frustrating and we apologize for the situation. Demand for this extremely popular camera has resulted in major delivery delays. Well, no crap, B&H. It's 6 months later now and we still don't even have a pre-order that was placed 2 days after pre-orders went live. Anyways, B&H says at this point, we now expect to ship your order by December 31st. That's kind of cool. Not really though, because you got to think I was within the first 48 hours of pre-orders and that's getting pushed to December 31st. So for anybody who was, I don't know, pre-ordered the camera a month after launch or ordered 2 months after launch, like good luck, you know? So today I want to kind of talk about this camera right here, which is not my pre-ordered camera, but this is a FujiFilm X100VI, and how I got this camera and how you can get one too if you're desperate, if you're needing it, if you just are impatient like me and just want to go ahead and buy one. So I'll tell you straight up, this camera right here came from eBay. Now, I know everybody in the comments is going to be like, oh, an eBay scalper's camera, you paid $1,000 over MSRP. What in the world? I can't believe you. This guy sucks. All the comments are going to say that. But I'll pull up my eBay order history right here because I actually ordered this camera on April 3rd, which is not very long after I pre-ordered my camera. You see, I pre-ordered on February 22nd from B&H. And then within the next 2 weeks, all of the kind of pre-order debacle went down. Everybody was trying to get their hands on this camera. And then I found this one on eBay and I ordered it on April 3rd, 2024. Now, the person who listed this camera had obviously bought it. It had 900 on the shutter count whenever I bought it. Came with the box, came with an extra battery and a lens hood and all of the things. But they listed it at $19.99. So $1,999 USD, which that is incredibly well priced, at least at the time, because at the time, all the X100VIs that were on eBay were listed at $2,400 plus. 24 plus tax, 24 to 26. I was seeing some of them in the 27 range, but a lot of them were $2,400 to $2,600. And then this one popped up, and I had just been kind of browsing eBay, kind of searching, kind of casually browsing, saying, hey, if one shows up under $2,000, I'll probably buy it. That way I can just get my hands on the camera. And $2,000 to me is not much more expensive than the $1,726 it would have been from B&H, just MSRP. So yes, more expensive. Yes, I paid more money for it, getting it secondhand, but I didn't pay $2,400 for it, I'll tell you that. So one route that you can go, even to this day, if you want to get your hands on an X100VI, is just be browsing eBay, because every now and then, you'll find somebody who doesn't have the true knowledge of the true value of this camera, or just doesn't care about the true knowledge of the value of the camera, or just really want to give somebody an honest deal. Every now and then on eBay, secondhand sites like that, somebody will list it for either MSRP or around that range, and you can just buy it up because you are prepared and ready. Now, browsing a lot of different Reddit threads, a lot of people have had a lot of great luck pre-ordering this camera from smaller local camera stores. Now, where I live outside of Savannah, Georgia, unfortunately, we don't have any camera stores. I don't even think there's any decent camera stores in the state of Georgia until you get into the Atlanta area. It's just one of those things that we don't really have access to. But there's a couple of different Reddit threads out there of just everybody who has pre-ordered the camera, where they got it, how they got it, when they got it, and what store they went through, just to kind of give general knowledge of the market and just kind of give general knowledge of where they're at. So a lot of people on here, obviously, same with me, have had terrible luck with bigger companies like B&H, Adorama, all of the big camera stores. They're pretty much back ordered to infinity because people like me placed their pre-orders through there and are probably still holding their pre-orders just to see how long it takes. Now, a couple of these Reddit users, like Redefined Paul, he said, well, boys and girls, my watch time is now ended. I ordered from a local camera store in Phoenix. Shout out to Photoform on April 2nd, and I just picked it up yesterday. Told them I'll take whatever color they got first, and I ended up with a black, which looks super clean, blah, 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 blah. It's only been one day, but I'm looking to have a lot of fun with it. See, if this case, I placed my pre-order 2 weeks before this guy, but since he was at a smaller, more local camera store, he got his order 8 months prior to my B&H order, or when my B&H order will deliver. So it's very, if you want to pay MSRP, if you are one of those that will absolutely never pay over for a camera, I get it. I understand it. I'm all about it. Find your local camera store, dive into those local camera stores' pre-order list, because most of the time the smaller local camera stores have a lot shorter of a pre-order list than the larger B&H stores and things like that. So that goes through basically two options. Option number one, check eBay, do your due diligence on that. If you want to spend crazy over MSRP, go for it. I'm not going to tell you that's a stupid decision, because it's your money and you can do what you want with it. But if you browse eBay really closely and keep your eye on it and keep checking, the chances of listing or one listing lower like mine was, you got a good chance of it. Option number two, find you a local camera store and get on their pre-order list, because that seems to be the best option that people have had in the world so far. Option number three, steal it. I'm just kidding. That's a terrible idea. Either find it on eBay or pre-order at your local camera store. Or if you want, you can jump on B&H or Adorama and place your pre-order and just kick back, kick your feet up, and wait about a year, because it might eventually show up. So that's the X100VI. I really do love this camera. Honestly, like, I'm not a photographer. I'm a video shooter. But having this just to snap photos of my friends, of my family, of different events and different travels, I've been loving it. And hopefully I'll keep this camera forever. I don't know. We'll see. Until something comes along that replaces it, it'll be my go-to. So I hope this video was somewhat useful to you today, especially if you're interested in the X100VI, because it's been a great camera. I've loved it a lot, and I've also loved making these YouTube videos. And the way that I make more of these YouTube videos is if you subscribe, like, leave me a comment, tell me all about your X100VI stories, whether you love the fact that I bought it on eBay or absolutely hate me for it. Let me know. I'd love to know in the comments below. I'll catch you guys on the next video.